Hey, I had a little interesting moment this morning. I was in kind of a meditative state, and when I get into this state, a lot of little truths pop up, and it's stuff that I should know already. It's not like big mysteries of the universe, but it's stuff that I should know, but it kind of hasn't really sunk in, or I hadn't thought about it quite that way yet. And one of those things, well, one of them one time was about a lot of times it's about sympathy, or not sympathy, but being compassionate towards someone and seeing past the human being that's standing in front of me, insulting me and being a dick to me, and more into this is a hurting person who feels the need to do this because of this and that. When I can see them a little bit more as a hurting human being, it makes it easier for me to forgive them or to overlook their negative actions towards me. And just little stuff like that. And so today, I can't go into a lot of the background. I could, but I don't want to because I have my reasons. Um, won't go into why this was significant to me, but my mind has been dwelling on something, even when the front part of my mind is working on something else and completely involved in another activity. This other thing is grinding away in the back of my mind at all times. It's like running in the background constantly. So suddenly, and I don't know how else to say it, but it was like told to me. It was like this was downloaded into my brain and all at one time. And it was just the phrase that generosity does not always equal kindness. And I think that's true in the situation I'm in, as well as in other situations I've seen with other people. Um, a lot of times, if someone is a very generous person, a very giving person, whether they're giving to charity, giving to individuals, giving of their time, their money, their resources, whatever they are giving with, um, I think most of us tend to look at that person and say, wow, they're so kind. They're so kind and loving because they give stuff. They give things and they give and give, whatever. And, but then that phrase that generosity does not always equal kindness, uh, it was like a big bell went off in my head. And I started really thinking about it. And it's so true that a lot of the times, and I've probably been guilty of it as well. I'm not going to say my shit doesn't stink. But a lot of the times, I think we as humans, the reason why we are compelled to to be generous with someone is because we want to own a little piece of them. We want their sense of gratitude to compel them to continue to be in our lives or to give back to us or to give us a little more of themselves than they probably give to most people. Um, it's definitely sort of a sense of entitlement that some people get when they give something, which is, of course, the wrong reason to give it. And a lot of us, I think, because it's an inbred part of, not inbred, like somebody marrying their brother. It's something that's built into us all, I think, to at least sometimes help somebody, to be kind, to be generous, which are not the same thing. But when it's done genuinely, it's done because I think all of us have a memory in us of someone helping us. And it feels good if you're coming from the right place. It feels really good to do something kind for somebody in the form of generosity. And it rewards us. Something in our brain shoots off some chemicals that are pleasure reward chemicals, and we strut off feeling good. But some people get a little twisted, and they do it to try to almost purchase the person, or to try to make themselves appear to just be this really giving person so that you don't maybe so much notice the negative things that are going on too. The things that you would probably really like to have more, like respect and honesty and, you know, a lack of bullshit. Um, And it made me think about myself too. And maybe at some point I've been generous with somebody, kind to somebody, hoping that it will, can't think of the right word, endear me to them. Um, but I try to not let that be the reason for doing things, because then disappointment always comes up. And I've had some people who seem to feel like they own me a little bit, and that I don't have a right to criticize them for anything else that they do, because they have been generous with me. And that's not really kindness. That's not generosity for the right reasons. That's generosity for selfish reasons. It's not really for the other person, just to bless them, because it should not change the relationship. You should still have an equal relationship and be able to say, hey, you know what, something that you have said really hurt my feelings, or something that you did or didn't do has really hurt me and made all these negative feelings in me, and I want to talk to you about them. And in an equal relationship, you should be able to do that, and the other person should be able to say, oh, what did I do? Let's talk about it. But it seems like that when someone gives a little money, or a little belongings, or time, or hospitality in their house, or food, or whatever it is, some people feel entitled. So generosity does not always equal kindness. Generosity is often done for very selfish reasons, and we've all been guilty of that, I think, at some point or another. Some are just habitual about it. I don't know. I just wanted to share that little bit of I don't know. It's not philosophy. I don't know. Share that little thought with you. Tell me what you think. All right. Bye, kids.